Hi students, welcome back to the English virtual class. In your vacation, we have given you an assignment from the lesson Question of Trust written by Victor Canning. We have asked you to read the lesson and answer the given questions. Today, I'm going to take up the same lesson, A Question of Trust written by Victor Canning. It is said that you must set a thief to catch a thief. It is also said, there is honor among thieves. Let us see which saying does this story actually illustrate. Before I tell you in detail, let us have a look at the writer. The writer, as I said, he is Victor Canning. He was a prolific British writer. That is, he had produced many works and he's personally reticent. That is, he doesn't express himself, his feelings. Okay, that could be the reason he didn't write any memoirs and faced very few newspaper interviews. Coming to the story, the main character is Horace Danby. He is a 50-year-old man and he is a bachelor. He made his living by making locks and he had two helpers. And he is a passionate reader. He loved rare and expensive books. In order to lead a comfortable life and also to purchase expensive books, he robbed a safe every year. So this year too, he was all set to commit a robbery. For this, the target house that he had chosen is Shotover Grange. Grange is a house in a village, a big house in a village. Right. So he had studied the house for 2 weeks, like the electric wiring, the parts, the key, the safe, so where is it kept, and all that he had made a detailed study because the family had left for London, leaving the two servants who are taking care of the house. So that particular afternoon, the two servants had gone for movies. So as planned, Horace Danby entered the house with all his arrangements, with his toolkit, wearing the gloves, and he had opened the door by taking the key that was hung from on the hook. And when he entered the house, he found a dog lying in the kitchen. And when he had called out its correct name, it silenced itself. Then he went to start his work of robbing the safe. Horace is actually suffering from hay fever. Hay fever is allergy from pollen grains. So there was a bowl of flowers on the table, so he started sneezing. When he was sneezing, then he heard a voice from behind. To his utter dismay, it was a female voice and she was a pretty woman. He was shocked to find a lady inside the house. She was young and pretty. His first thought was to run away. The lady told him that she would telephone the police. She would tell them about him. Horace Danby told her to let him go and forget she ever saw him. But the lady put one condition for letting Horace go. She told that she had promised her husband to take her jewels to the bank when they left for London. But however, she left the jewels in the safe. She had come back tonight to take the jewels as she had a party that night. She would let him go if he opens the safe for her and gives the jewels, as she had forgotten the code numbers to open the safe. So she needed his help, and Horace opened the safe for her. In his haste to help her out, he had forgotten to wear the gloves. So after that, he had left the place immediately. After going back home, he was just sitting in his room and just thinking about the new robbery as the previous robbery had failed. But then he was shocked to see the policeman who had come to arrest him for the jewel robbery at Shotover Grange. He was in utter dismay because he had taken the lady in red dress as the owner of the house, but he understood that she was not the owner of the house, but she was just a thief like him and who had cheated him. When he was trying to tell the police that it was the owner of the house who had asked him to open the safe, the police did not believe in him because the lady or the owner of the house was 60 years old and she said whatever Danby was telling is a nonsense. So Danby right now is in prison and working as a librarian there, and he often thinks about the last incident which had landed him in trouble and put him in current status. So he just thinks of that the charming and the clever young lady who was from the same profession and who had tricked him or cheated him. So Danby gets very angry when anyone talks about honor among thieves. Honor among the thieves means the lady who is a thief should have some code of conduct, being a thief, not cheating another thief. So criminal is a criminal and you cannot expect anything more from a criminal. So that's why he feels very angry when anybody tells there is honor among thieves because the lady has cheated him. So let us sum up quickly the entire story. So, Horace Danby is a 50-year-old man. He is a bachelor, honest, but not completely because he robs every year a safe in order to satisfy his passion of reading books and also leading a comfortable life. And he is, though healthy, he suffers from hay fever. And his profession is to make locks with two helpers. And 15 years ago, he had served his first and only sentence in a prison library. And he loves rare and expensive books. And for that reason, he robs every year to buy these books. And in this year, his target house to be robbed is Shotover Grange. He studied the house, its room, electric wires, parts, garden, etc. for 2 weeks. And he got a chance when two servants went out to the movies and the family was out in London. He came from behind the garden wall with tools packed in a bag carefully. And during the theft, a lady in a red dress came as owner. He thought her as owner and opened the safe on her demand to save himself from cops. He was caught for it after 2 days as his fingerprints were found on the safe. He was cheated by the person of the same profession. With this, children, I'm going to end this lesson. I'll be meeting you in my next session wherein we are going to discuss about the characters, the title, and also theme of the story. So meanwhile, just read the lesson for yourself and try to understand. Is that okay, children? Goodbye. I'll be meeting in my next session.